it's a situation where if you push a narcissist properly, you'll start to see that the fairy tale that they're talking of, they're speaking from, is what they are using to protect themselves from emotions and feelings that they haven't understood within them. That's why if you challenge a narcissist too quickly, too harsh, they revert to being children. They revert to being the child fantasy that they created as a child, and they revert to use that as the template to protect themselves in their thinking when they're in that situation. The rules that they want to strike out, they want to do this, they want to do that, they want to talk to you like they've got no care of the future or the future interactions with you. The fact that when you basically ignore them, they say, God, you've abandoned me. And then they turn into a little child that's like, oh, you abandoned me, you left me, you're not going to be with me, you're going to be with me. And then you're like, yeah, of course, I'm not going to leave you like that. And then 5 minutes later, the energy comes back and starts attacking you again. And you're like, whoa, I said I'm not going to go. And then the energy just can't help itself because it sees you as a source of food. The one thing about this narcissist entity is it's only happy when it's winning. So when it's winning and when it's in control of you and when it's making you process everything you do through it. There's a thing where narcissists will meet you and they'll be asking every detail about you, where you are, what's your life, what you're into, what's you done, have you done good things? And more importantly, have you done bad things? They're literally working up a dossier on you. And you're like, this person must really love me. They care so much. But the energy is actually taking details, because if you're going to go into war with someone, you need to know who you're warring against. You need to have all their details. You need to work them out so that you can work out how to get the best out of them. Now, this is a tough one because it's not actually the person you're fighting against. You're fighting against the entity that has taken over them, because this entity only has one mission, and that is to win. As long as it's winning and that you're doing exactly as the narcissists say, can you maintain a smile on their face? That's why they love a people pleaser, because a people pleaser will be just built and knows only to please people, is the perfect person for them. Because essentially the people pleaser, I can't even say the damn word, people pleaser are constantly in a state of they need the narcissist to love them. They need the narcissist to say something good about them. And the narcissist, in knowing that, creates the carrot on the stick by telling them of the wonderful life they're going to have. But the people pleaser has to give everything they've got in order to make that happen. And even when the people pleaser is giving everything they've got, the narcissist, because the energy inside them is a parasite, turns the people pleaser and says, if you could just give a bit more, I think that would be enough to push us into this relationship I promised you. Whereas the narcissist is trying its very best to do as little as possible, because all its real energy is being diverted back inside it so that it can actually keep itself balanced. And it uses your opinion of them in order to be stabilized. It needs you to be telling them how great they are, how wonderful they are, how well they're doing, how they're so important and impactful on their life, because the little child playing the fairy tale in their mind, it needs to know that the fairy tale is working and the fairy tale is possible one day. It needs to know that it's possible, because once it feels like that fairy tale isn't possible, then it's going to lash out at you. Then it's going to devalue you. Then it's going to tell you how you're not doing enough. And it's going to bring in all these examples of other people that have a better relationships. Oh, they do that all the time, trying to put you in a state of shame that you're just not doing enough.